What if the greatest fear isn't dying, but watching someone you call master bleed out while you stand helpless, feeling the hot sting of sweat mixed with tears, tasting iron in the air like old battlefield rust, and hearing your own heartbeat drown out every scream? That question punched me right in the chest during episode 10 of Hell's Paradise Season 2, titled Master and Disciple, which dropped March 15, 2026, and streams exclusively on Crunchyroll. We're deep in the heart of the season's brutal island arc now, right after the last episode's explosive group clashes left bodies broken and questions burning. The paradise that promised eternal life is showing its true teeth, not gentle flowers, but thorns that cut straight to the soul. It feels like stepping into a misty forest where every shadow whispers your worst regrets about loyalty, power, and how far you'd go for the person who taught you to live. I was glued to the screen, pulse racing like I was the one swinging the blade. What secret about survival hides in that final clash? You'll only understand the weight if you watch, and the pull to know will drag you in like quicksand. This episode picks up straight from the chaos of the previous one, where one deadly fight ends and another ignites. We zoom in on Shugen and young Nurugai facing off against the immortal Shugen in a raw, relentless battle for revenge and survival. No huge spoilers here, just know the tension coils tighter than a noose. One swing too slow, one breath held too long, and everything fractures. It flows like a river rushing toward a waterfall, carrying the pain of past losses straight into this one desperate stand. You feel the shift in your bones, the same way history's great duels. Think samurai facing impossible odds in old Japan or soldiers charging trenches in forgotten wars. Turn personal in a heartbeat. Now let's cut deeper. This is where the episode grabs you by the throat and refuses to let go. The plot surges forward with fierce balance. Early moments build raw physical fury, then slow into quiet, heart-shattering choices that change the whole game. Key revelations hit like lightning, old bonds tested, hidden strengths unlocked, and a cliffhanger slams down that leaves your stomach in knots. The pacing is perfect, never rushed, never dull. It breathes like real combat, where every second stretches with fear. Fans on Reddit and forums have been asking the same cloudy questions. Why can't simple slashes kill Shugen? How does Tao actually work here? Why does Shugen keep pushing even when his body screams stop? Drawing straight from the original manga by Yuji Kaku, this adapts the intense Lord Tensen arc around chapters 70 to 80. Here's the clear truth without ruining the anime's magic. The Tensen aren't just strong, they're immortal because they cycle Tao, life energy, through their bodies like a never-ending river. Normal cuts heal instantly unless you strike their hidden core, the ovule or flower-like center, with your own mastered Tao. Shugen's hundreds of slashes? They're buying time while he learns to channel it, just like in the manga where humans must evolve beyond brute force to beat gods. Nurugai's role ties into revenge for their lost friend Tenzo, turning the fight into a living lesson on sacrifice. It all clicks now. This isn't random violence. It's the story showing how power, morality, and survival twist together like roots in dark soil. Previous episodes built the mystery. This one rips the curtain open so the bigger war makes terrifying sense. The characters feel so alive they could step off the screen. Shugen, voiced by the powerhouse Chikahiro Kobayashi, breaks your heart with his quiet strength. His hidden wound is the fear of failing those he protects, yet his growth here is explosive, turning cold duty into fierce, fatherly fire. His choices and words stay true to his soul but surprise you with raw vulnerability. Nurugai, Makoto Koichi, shines as the fierce young disciple. Her motivation is pure loyalty mixed with rage, and watching her step up feels like seeing a child suddenly carry the weight of the world. Their bond transforms in ways that echo real master-disciple stories throughout history, from ancient warriors passing wisdom in blood-soaked fields to mentors sacrificing everything for their students' future. Every line carries heavy meaning, sharp as a sword edge, foreshadowing pain that echoes long after the credits. The themes cut deep: power versus morality, sacrifice for those you love, hope clashing with despair. You see it in every desperate swing. How far will you go to protect your family when the enemy can't truly die? It hits like classic tales of impossible odds. Think Spartans at Thermopylae or a parent shielding a child in a storm. But here it feels painfully personal. World building grows richer too. New layers on Tao and the Tensen's rules turn the island from pretty hell to a living nightmare of ancient experiments and cursed immortality. It complicates everything in the best way, making survival feel earned, not handed out. Visually, it's breathtaking under Mappa's art direction team, with character designs by Akitsugu Hisejai. Colors burn from fiery reds in battle to cold, ghostly blues in quiet moments. Lighting and shadows move like living threats, stillness freezing your breath while sudden bursts explode with energy. The animation flows smooth as a master swordsman's strike, every drop of sweat and flying leaf packed with feeling. Direction and cinematography use tight close-ups on trembling hands and wide shots of the chaotic island to mirror the character's inner storms, just like the raw tension in legendary fight scenes from old samurai films. The soundtrack, by Yoshiaki Dua, becomes a living character. Haunting strings and pounding drums rise and fall like breathing, motifs from earlier episodes swelling into crescendos that burn into your memory. Silence hits harder than any roar, letting the weight of each choice sink in deep. Voice acting elevates every moment. Chikahiro Kobayashi as Cheyenne pours gravel and honey intensity into every grunt and vow. His timbre shakes with exhaustion yet burns with unbreakable will, embodying a soul that refuses to break. Makoto Koichi as Nurugai brings fierce, youthful fire with just the right tremor of fear turning to courage. Junichi Suabe and Yuko Kaida switching for Jujin's forms make the immortal feel both seductive and terrifying. Emotionally, this episode left real scars. It made me feel the crushing ache of watching someone you love fight alone, like standing helpless in a hospital room or on an old battlefield, mixed with sparks of awe at their unbreakable bond. The climax hits like two destinies colliding, a breaking point that shifts the entire war, leaving you breathless. It echoes questions we all carry. What would you sacrifice for the person who taught you everything? How do you keep hoping when despair feels endless? I personally sat there afterward, chest tight, wondering how one fight could carry so much heart. Sure, some might say the fight feels heavy or the Tao talk a bit dense at first, but that's no flaw. It's deliberate, like pausing in a real duel to let the fear and lessons sink in, forcing you to feel every layer just as the characters do. The complexity mirrors life. True power isn't simple, and that's what makes it powerful. Episode 10 succeeds completely, blending raw action with soul-deep emotion, pushing the story forward while leaving you starving for more. Its strengths, those intense performances, crystal-clear lore payoff, flawless craft, crush any small stumbles. Weaknesses, only if you want easy fights and no growth. And this show never promised that, so here's the truth that lingers like blood on steel. The real paradise isn't eternal life. It's the bond that makes you fight even when death feels certain. Will you step onto that deadly island with Cheyenne and Nurugai, feel the weight of their blades in your own hands? One click on Crunchyroll, and their story becomes yours. You won't just watch. You'll carry their scars, and you won't be able to look away.